guys, welcome to another amazing episode of Now This Is What They Not Telling You. Today's episode is going to be a very vulnerable, transparent, and emotional episode. And it was inspired by myself. We're going to talk about knowing the difference between being strong and too strong for our own good. And we're going to also get into guilty feelings from love. So let's get into today's greatness. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to be honest with not only me, but with yourself. Have you ever felt guilty about something, whether that's something in your personal life, in a relationship, at work, with somebody in general, and that guilty feeling turned into regret? And in doing so, you felt regret because you felt like you didn't have a reason to feel any kind of way. You didn't have a reason to be hurt. You didn't have a reason to feel like there was a problem because you were blaming yourself. And so in blaming yourself, you suppressed all of your feelings. You suppressed the thought that it was the other person's fault as well. You suppressed that you were hurt, and you thought that you didn't have a reason to be hurt. So you didn't allow yourself to cry. You didn't allow yourself to seek help by talking to a friend or seeking counsel or just being open and vulnerable with yourself, if not anybody else. So if your answer is yes, okay, because I felt the same way just this year. So earlier this year, I was in a relationship, and literally right before my birthday, 5 days to be exact, I was no longer in a relationship. And me knowing myself, me knowing that I am a strong person, I have a slick tongue, I have an attitude, I'm very feisty. I can be a lot. I have control issues here and there. I have a wall built up, and I just know to be this strong person. I've built myself to become this strong person. And in doing so, I've learned now that I wasn't allowing myself to properly be loved. And so I was kind of rejecting the love that I was receiving from my ex-boyfriend. So when he broke up with me, I kind of felt like I didn't have a reason to be hurt because he was somebody that was different. He was somebody that was gentle, that was sweet, that was caring, that was kind, that was patient, that was sensitive. And again, I know how I am. And even in the beginning of our relationship, people used to say, bruh, I don't know how you doing it. Good luck. I know she a lot, bruh. You a good one. And so hearing those things and just knowing how people think of me and how people see me, and they see me as a strong, independent person, I felt like I didn't have a reason to be hurt because I pushed him away, because I drove our relationship down the drain. And if he can break up with me 5 days before my relationship, I knew it was me. And so in doing so, I kind of suppressed all of my feelings. I didn't allow myself to cry. I didn't even tell anybody that I was single for like a month to 3 months. Only 3 people knew. One of them, my friend Shauna, found out because we were literally with each other every day because we started our workout journey, and we've been friends for 8 years. So she can kind of know when something is off with me. My little sister was the next person who found out because she and I have gotten closer over the years as she's getting older. She's now 21. We became a lot closer. She knows things about me that a lot of people don't even know. And then my line sister, Tanisha, who you guys seen last episode, because again, we talk often, and she will always ask about him sometimes. And again, she can tell when something is off based off of my responses. But other than that, people didn't find out for like a month to 3 months, not even my family. And it goes to show my point that I felt like I didn't have a reason to be angry or hurt, because when I told my family, they laughed at me and my other closest friends. They was like, girl, stop lying. girl, what you do to him? Why you break up with him? And when I was like, no, he broke up with me, everybody was like, you lying. What did you really do? And everybody literally said the same thing. What, you were being mean, you was being controlling. He had moved away. He had moved back to Maryland, so we're already in a long distance relationship. And he had moved back home with his parents. And so there's like, what, you kept nagging about him moving out, or, you know, just all the things that they felt like I was getting on his nerves about. And so it just proved to myself that I really didn't have a reason to be hurt. So in doing so, I broke when I did not want to break. I was doing a video with some of my line sisters and their partners. One was a husband and one was a fiance. And after we turned the cameras off and, you know, I was just thanking them for their vulnerability and their transparency and just getting the insight from a man, especially from a husband and a fiance standpoint, I broke down. And that was the first time I had cried since I was no longer in a relationship. And by that time, it had been 3 months. So I then realized that holding in your feelings can do you more harm than it can do good. Being strong sometimes can be more harmful than it can be good, because especially as women, we take on a lot and we're already emotional beings. So sometimes we don't try to wear our heart on our sleeves, or we don't try to be emotional in front of people. We don't want people to know what's really going on. So we take it all in and we hold it in. We put on a mask. And in doing so, we don't know when to seek help when we need help. And I'm not necessarily saying go to a counselor or a therapist. Sometimes just be like, go to your closest friends, be like, listen, I just need for you to listen. I just need to talk to somebody. I just need to vent. I just need to let it go. Because holding all of that stuff in, it just does something to you. And like me, you might break at a time where you really don't want to break. And I just realized that I was feeling guilty about something that I really shouldn't have felt guilty about. That was a lesson for me to learn and take in and grow from it and move forward accordingly. That was just a way for me to see myself and move forward in my future, in my career, and in my personal life. It taught me that I needed to love my own imperfections as perfections first. But it also taught me that I'm being too strong for my own good. I need to learn how to accept things, talk things out, and move forward accordingly. Because you never really want to have regrets. I was talking to my dad like a few years ago about this, and he was saying you're really not supposed to ever regret anything in life. Everything is literally a lesson. He was like, but you have regret because you're feeling guilty about something, but you're not acknowledging that you're feeling guilty about something. And I'm like, exactly. I don't feel guilty about anything. And he was like, yes, you do. You're just not being honest with yourself. And so when I was honest with myself and realized what I was feeling guilty about, I did realize that my guilt had turned into regret, and my regret had turned into pain and frustration. And I wasn't allowing myself to move on accordingly. And so when this happened with Josh, I had to stop, think about what me and my dad had talked about, and move forward from there, because I don't want to regret anything in life. I want to take everything as a lesson and move forward accordingly. I want to grow. And for me, if we're talking about relationships, not everybody wants to be a wife, but I want to be married. I want to have a little family one day. And I don't want to not be able to receive love properly because I'm holding on to things that I don't need to hold on to. I'm not realizing things that I need to realize, or I'm being too strong for my own good. I have a wall that I won't even allow to tear down brick by brick. And so that's what I mean when I say sometimes we're too strong for our own good. You know, for me, my mom taught me to be a strong, independent woman, never to depend on anybody, not even her. And so having that mentality and growing up the way that I grew up and matriculating into adulthood the way that I did, I built up a strong wall. I built up a guard for my emotions and my feelings. Even my mom used to tell me, and I love her to death, you are too sensitive. You are too emotional. You need a backbone. And so I built a backbone. And in building a backbone, I was tearing down other people, and I was also tearing down myself because I didn't know when to be vulnerable when I needed to be vulnerable. I didn't know how to seek help when I needed help. I didn't know how to go with the flow. Like I said earlier, I like control. So, especially over things in my life. So I felt like if I can control my future and what would happen the next day and what I would do in my day, plan everything out accordingly, I will be good. But I had to learn that I have to live as life goes, go with the flow. Plan accordingly as much as you can, but live life the way that you need to live life for you. And so I just wanted to come to you guys and see if you guys have ever felt guilty about something and realized that you later felt regret about it. Or if you don't feel like you regret it or feel guilty, you feel guilty for being who you are. And being who you are is such a strong person that some people don't know how to take it, or some people take it as you're too much, or you're too independent, or you have such a strong mind, or your mouth is too much. Those can be looked at as flaws, but they can be imperfections that turn into perfections once you gain control over them and understand them the way that you need to. So I just wanted to bring this to you guys' attention because for me, for months, I was hurt. I was really, really hurt. And I wanted to move forward, but I really couldn't move forward because I wasn't allowing myself to be hurt. I wasn't allowing myself to cry. And I had to realize that that's okay. That's literally okay. So all in all, I just want you guys to understand and just realize and just think about some things. We go through a lot. We're going through a lot in this world right now. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be confused. It's okay to not have everything all together. It's okay to not want to be around people, but want to be around somebody. It's okay to not go to therapy, but still talk to somebody about something. Seek help when you need help. Cry when you need to cry. Be stuck in the house confused if you need to be confused. But learn from them, understand yourself, understand things, and move forward accordingly. And I feel like when I did those things, I was able to move forward accordingly. A lot of things opened up for me. A lot of clarity came about. I've made the commitment and the decision to become celibate, and that is going to be another episode coming soon, so stay tuned. But I have gained a lot of clarity in my life. A lot of things have opened up for me as far as what I'm meant to do on this earth. I have a different level of self-love. I thought I knew what self-love was before, but I'm gaining a whole new understanding of what self-love really is. I'm learning more about myself that I thought I knew, but I really didn't know. And so it's okay to be strong. Be strong. But don't be too strong for your own good to where you eventually fall. So I hope this was great to you guys. This was something simple. Like I said, I was trying to be vulnerable and transparent with you guys, but not too vulnerable and too transparent, because like my motto. If I'm going through it, if I've thought about it, I know somewhere, somehow somebody else is thinking the same thing or going through the same thing. And I'm here for all of us helping each other some way, somehow. So join the conversation. Like this video if you like it. Tell me more about your experiences. Tell me more about your definition of being a strong woman or a strong man, or, you know, having all your ducks in a row, or not being able to be emotional or sensitive because it's looked down upon. You know, join the conversation. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Like this video, comment, and subscribe. And if you want, hit that bell so you can get notifications when I post. As always, be great with greatness. I thank you for watching, and I will see you later.